Hi, and welcome to the 2020 Economic Recession and Preparation channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me once again for another edition. Today, we have a lot on tap as we have less than about 3 months out from a national election here in the United States. And according to a survey done by a research poll done by CNBC.com and its affiliates, the economy, jobs, cost of living, top COVID-19 fears as voters worry about their finances. Finances is one of the top concerns for most people as we head into this fall and winter season. As they say on Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, winter is coming. And apparently it's coming in more ways than one for a lot of people who are either living in the sand or on the other spectrum, getting prepared as best they can. There's a bleak outlook for employment, wages, job security, and health care. We just surveyed over 2,300 likely voters on both sides of the spectrum, and over 35% of respondents said the current state of their personal finances is poor or not so good. Looking ahead to next year, more than half of the respondents said they are worried and concerned about the unemployment rate. That was 60% said that they're worried and concerned about the unemployment rate being over 11% as it is now. 52% said they're worried that wages will not be increasing anytime soon. And 57% worried about healthcare costs. They said that was a primary concern, just having healthcare or trying to get healthcare if they don't have it. Nearly 1/3 of respondents said that their own job security was a worry, while 41% said they are worried and uncertain about their personal finances in 2021. Now, just the other day, we talked about last week how the leading economist, one of the leading economists for the Federal Reserve Bank in St. Louis and Philadelphia, concurred, saying that they don't see a vaccine or a recovery of this economy till after 2022. And Google, Apple, Facebook, and some of the leading technology companies and private sector said that they plan to keep their workers working on a telework schedule at home through at least 2022. So now we have tough times ahead. As a matter of fact, consumer sentiment, even though it rose 2 points to 74.1 in August from 72.5 in July, it's still near a pandemic low, according to MarketWatch.com. Now, Americans have regained a small amount of confidence in the path of the economic recovery in late August, but they're still quite pessimistic on how long it will take to get back to normal, a new survey showed. The new normal will never return in 1 year or 5 years. It's going to take a monumental effort to restore the American economy back to where it was. The index bottomed out at 71.8 in April, just 2 months after it had reached a nearly 2-year high of 101. That was before the pandemic in February. But now, after a fresh outbreak of this sickening pandemic has dampened the spirits of Americans in July and August, the economy is showing little signs of life. Most Americans think it will be years before the economy returns to normal, and we have been forecasting on my channel it's going to take at least 10 years minimum to rebuild and recover what we had before. Not that what we had before was anything to brag about in the rest of the world compared to China or Russia or India, some of the really growing economies in the real world, in the worldwide scheme of things, but we did have something much better than what we have now. So, quote, although half anticipates an improved economy, when asked to judge the performance of the economy, 62% judged that the overall conditions in the economy could best be described as unfavorable. So, the amount of the confidence that Americans have in this fake economy, in this pumped up Wall Street fairy tale land, and in their own financial security, it definitely has a good role or record of predicting the future. The low level of consumer sentiment definitely points to a rockier road ahead for U.S. recovery, if at all, because unemployment is still at astronomical levels not seen since 50 years, 60 years since the Great Depression. Layoffs and furloughs continue to be on the rise. Again, just today, Coca-Cola announced that it's planning to either buy out or furlough another 4,000 workers during its restructuring process. And Washington, D.C. is still divided over what kind of, quote, additional aid to provide to the economy. So now Miss Nancy Pelosi, our favorite spokesperson for the stimulus package, is saying that she'll be willing to accept a $2.2 trillion deal from the Republican side. They've lowered it. That's been lowered from a $3 trillion deal. Now they've lowered it to $2.2 trillion, with who knows how much individual families will receive this time around. So we are in a really, really bad situation here. The country is in a liquidity crisis, a money and debt crisis. So if you have any extra cash, make sure you're paying down your debts on time. Make sure you're paying off your debts on time, I should say, rather. Make sure you're stocking up on vital supplies, because just as the hurricane down in Louisiana, for those people in Lake Charles and Cameron, that they have no power, no food, no water. We're going to be like that when this economic hurricane comes. Some of us, those who have not prepared, are going to be like those with no food, no power, no water, no clothes, no durable skills, survival skills. Be learning all you can during this time that we are forced to stay indoors more. Because though they may take a lot from us, they cannot take away our mental creativity and our intelligence and our economic wisdom. So use this time to your advantage and boost your savings and boost the knowledge and train your family in proper economic principles, so that this kind of depression, this 10-12 year depression that we're going to be entering, does not occur again on a national scale. And at this point, it does not matter who gets in office after November 2020, because the depression is already on its way. In the first or second quarter of 2021, America will look much, much different. The collapse will have started in these major cities, and it will work its way out from major cities to suburbia, and then finally to the rural areas, lastly. So get prepared now, stay prepared, because the cost of living is going astronomical. It will continue to rise as we speak. And the housing market will be the domino to fall this fall that we're looking forward to. In mid to late October, the housing market will begin to collapse. And even though that's in spite of the furlough that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mae put throughout the end of this year on the mortgage increase and mortgage moratorium, that will not be able to save this housing market. So get prepared, stay prepared, be blessed, everyone. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel and to get the latest notifications, because some people have been saying that, telling me that they've been magically unsubscribed by YouTube. Do not worry about that. Subscribe, and we'll be sure to bring you the latest information. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon.